here. Thanks for the awesome introduction. It's very humbling to hear anybody say such nice things and kind of puts it in perspective, all the things that have happened over the years that led us to this moment. And it's pretty surreal. But before I dive into the specific project and company and products and all the good information that everybody's looking forward to, I want to rewind a little bit and just give you some context. When you hear these big numbers like 100 million in sales, the first thing normally that comes up for somebody is, oh, I can't do that, or that's too big and it's too far out of reach. And it could really feel discouraging and not really that inspiring because it's such a big number from where most people are at. And I understand that 100%. When I first discovered this opportunity, it was over 11 years ago. I saw certain people that had these major accomplishments and ranks and success stories and incomes and living their dreams. And I was super intimidated by it, even more so than I was inspired. I was inspired, but I was more intimidated than inspired because it seemed like millions of miles away from where I was at that time. So I want you guys to just put that off to the side for a moment. Don't focus on that, even though that was a awesome introduction. It's not the point. Okay, the point is right now all about you. And I'm here to serve you. I don't need to be here. I want to be here. And there's a really big difference between those two things. So I'm actually really super honored to be here and spend this time with you. And I hope that you take this seriously, because what we're going to cover here is more important than anything else you could be doing with your time right now. And I know that you probably have a family and you have kids and you have all sorts of other commitments. And I don't mean any disrespect to them. I'm just talking about the information. If it lands for you the way that it landed for me and the way that it landed for all the other leaders on this call, is absolutely life-changing if you do something with it. So with that being said, I just want to rewind and tell you a little bit about my backstory. So I'm 33 today, and I was born in Hungary, which is a European, small little country in Europe. And my parents wanted to provide for my brother and I a better life. Life was very hard for my parents growing up. And they decided to flee communist Hungary back in '89. I was 4 years old and went to Germany, and they had literally nothing. They had no money, couldn't speak English, a couple of suitcases, all of our belongings. And we ended up immigrating to Canada, literally looking for the Canadian dream or the American dream that was so far-fetched that all my parents could think of is like, just get to Canada. Like that's all that they didn't have any other plan. It was like, just get to Canada, we'll figure it out. And once we got here, life got pretty hard. We got caught up in this whole financing and mortgaging and leasing and no money down, pay in 2 years from today, but you get to have all the nice shit, today, right now. And that wasn't a thing in Hungary. Nobody could buy anything unless you had all of the money now. So obviously it was very nice to live this like over leveraged lifestyle when we first got here. So on the outside looking in, it looked like we had a really good life, and we had the new car and the new townhouse, and it wasn't like super luxurious by any means, but it was like we had a lot of things. And from there, life became harder and harder because we're on this hamster wheel, this rat race, this paycheck to paycheck, barely surviving throughout the month. And maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you came from similar upbringing with your family. Like most of us, we don't start in a wealthy family. And if you did, chances of you being on this call is probably a lot slimmer than if you have big dreams and aspirations and looking forward to having more than you've had up until this point and becoming more, becoming a better version of yourself and really wanting to experience all that life has to offer, right? And providing for your family more than you had maybe potentially growing up. And that was me as well. So my parents ended up getting divorced when I was 11. The specific finite details are unclear. I was so young, I don't remember all the things. Obviously, I wasn't involved. But I do recall specifically that money kept coming up. The lack of money was always a problem. And it was this never-ending cycle between not enough money and then not enough time, quality time specifically, with the family all together, bonding, talking, communicating, loving each other, which you can only do when you have enough time together. Otherwise, distance is going to happen. So when we had more time, we had no money. And when we had a little bit more money, we had no time. So we couldn't really win. And so as a kid, observing and watching this, I developed a love-hate relationship with money. And maybe you probably have some limiting beliefs around money, possibly. It's very common in the world. Most people do. And that's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's actually been engineered this way. So it's on us to break through that and change those beliefs. But I hated money more than anything because I blamed money, right? I blamed money for breaking my family apart. But then a little bit later, I fell in love with money because I understood that it was an energy. I understood that the more that I was able to create in my life, the more options I had, the more choices I had, the more freedom I could gain. So it was very much a love-hate relationship. So for the rest of the time after my parents divorced until I moved out from home, I was in this very interesting place of trying to figure out this game of money. So when I got older, looking into the future and getting married and eventually having a family myself, I wouldn't have a similar fate specifically for the same reason my parents did. So this was my driving ambition and my motivation. So while this was going on, I also had some health problems. I had some stomach digestion issues that were ever since I was pretty young, 7, 8 years old. It was the primary way that my body would show that something wasn't going on properly. Like it was some kind of dis-ease, some kind of symptom. I had all the Pepto-Bismol sort of symptoms, side effects, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, acid reflux, blah, 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 you name it. But I was always in this constant pain of discomfort. It was mild, sometimes a little bit more severe, but it was always there. It was never not there for 10 years, okay? And once I got into high school, I started getting gallbladder attacks. And if you know anything about having a gallbladder attack, it's not fun. Feels like someone's ripping out your guts. And it could last for a day, up to a few days, up to a week sometimes. It was really, really excruciating. And my mom was witnessing me suffering. And if you're a parent or you have loving parents, you know that helpless feeling of you want to help your family and the people you love, and there's nothing you can really do. So my mom was just aching and suffering, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. So after going to the hospital many, many times, about every few months, they suggested to take my gallbladder out. So I got my gallbladder removed by the experts, the doctors who are supposed to be so smart and know everything, right? And I love doctors and I'm grateful for their service and all that good stuff, but they're not always the best option when it comes to certain things in the body, especially around prevention and being proactive. They're more like the reactive solution and trying to fix the symptoms with some kind of band-aids and not really figuring out the root cause. But I didn't know any of that back then, and neither did my family. So out goes the gallbladder at age 16, super young to have that type of surgery. And my symptoms came back. So here we are, my life, just to summarize it, is my parents got divorced. I hated money. I loved the idea of not having to worry about money, but I still was broke. And I was dealing with a lot of health problems. I was unemployable. I got fired from every job because I was entrepreneurial, trying to make my job more efficient when that wasn't my role. So they'd find a way to get rid of me. So everything was just kind of fucked up, to be honest. My life was not going well. I didn't know what my future had in store. I hated school. I could not pay attention in class because I didn't want to learn anything that they wanted me to learn. And I was just like, man, what is my life going to be like? Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever had that moment at some point in your teens, maybe early 20s, maybe even right now, this very moment where you're kind of like, what the fuck is the point of all of this, right? I don't seem to fit in anywhere. Nothing makes sense. I don't resonate with this 9-to-5 idea. I don't resonate with this or that. And you kind of feel like an outcast, like a black sheep in society. And that was me. I was like, where do I fit in the mix of all this stuff? And so what ended up happening is I found this industry at the perfect time to kind of save my life. And what I mean by save my life is I don't say that lightly. I don't just say that and throw it around. I believe that if you suffer in health or lack of health, I should say, if you have some kind of health crisis or symptom or dis-ease in your body that you're dealing with long-term, it's a form of suffering and a form of pain that is robbing you of your life. Does that make sense what I'm saying? It robs you of the joy and the positivity and the energy and everything you could feel because there's this kind of plague over you. So that was me. And then at the same time, if you are in debt or broke or struggling financially, it's causing you stress on an emotional level. And if you don't have any money, try thinking about anything else except for money. Good luck, right? It's kind of like a curse. It's just all you can think about because it's the main thing that we need to check off so many of our hierarchy of needs. So I was looking for an option, and luckily the product I'm about to show you in a few minutes here is the product that first and foremost solved my health issues, because my mom's the best and she refused to give up, and she was searching for answers, and she found this product from Japan that has been around for 45 years. It's a medical technology used in hospitals. It's not a joke. It's not a gimmick. It's not some fad. This is like the real legit scientific stuff that you need to understand and know about. And we're not going to go too deep in the science on this call, but I am going to touch on it and sort of summarize it so you get a good idea. And then there'll be some future information that you can dive into and get a little bit more for those of you that want that and need that. That's totally cool. We have countless hours worth of knowledge and scientific studies and the rest of it for those of you that like to dive into that stuff. My mom found this product in 2008. It was shortly after my dad passed away from cancer. I was in the deepest, darkest, lowest point in my life, kind of my version of rock bottom. I think we all have our own versions of rock bottom, and they're very real. No matter what your version of it is, to you, it's your rock bottom. So therefore, it's very real. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. And I was in that dark, dark, dark place. I was 21 years old. And I was like, man, my life, if it just continues down this path, I'm going to be a loser forever. Miserable, depressed, broke, in debt. Just bad combination of did not see my life unfolding the way it was at that time. My mom finds the water. Okay. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Gets the water. I'm skeptical. I'm cynical. I'm all the negative things. I'm telling my mom to go kick rocks. Yeah, right, mom. Water is going to help me. Okay, sure. What are you smoking kind of thing, you know? Like, yeah, right. So I try the water. And next thing you know, the first time I tasted it, it was different. I knew something was different about it. It tasted soft and silky and smooth and special. Like the best way you can describe it is it tasted like it's supposed to, which is really weird. So I've been drinking this stuff my whole life, and I thought it was supposed to taste like that. Then I try this for the first time, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's supposed to taste like this whole time. What has this other stuff been? So it was very weird feeling. Within 2 weeks, my health issues around my stomach, they went away. Like I never had any problems. Now, to be very clear, I'm not going to make any sort of claims here. No promises, no guarantees. Not on the health side of the product, but also not on the financial side. In fact, the chances of you having a transformation and also making, a lot of money is slim to none, only because it's all 100% based on you and what decisions that you make. You make the right decisions, you can have the right results. Real simple. So with that out of the way, I got better. The water was amazing. It was the missing piece to my health puzzle that we were searching for over a decade. And after that, my mom was like, people need to know about this. We started sharing it with people. And I'll tell you something. It's one thing to hear a story, and it's another thing to see with your own eyes a transformation, a miracle happen in front of your face where nobody could tell you that it didn't happen, right? So we started giving this product, this water, away for free for like 6 months. Anybody who would listen, we would tell. Anybody who would try it, we would share it. Anybody who would pick it up, we would give it to them as much as they wanted. We had no judgment, no like, oh, you do this and I'll do this. It was just like, here, give. And we wanted nothing in return. And these people had all sorts of health challenges, from psoriasis, eczema, like, topical things that you could see with your eyes that they were dealing with something, to pain and back pain, all kinds of stuff. And all I did was fill these people up with their jugs of water in my kitchen. And the first couple of times I did it was super awkward because they're bringing these 20-liter jugs, like it's a lot. Like, how many gallons is that? 5 gallons, whatever. I'm trying to convert it to the American people, but it's a lot of water. And I'm standing there being like, so how's your day? And the crazy thing is this thing takes like 15, 17 minutes or something to fill up. So it's like a really awkward, long conversation about the weather. And then I'm like, what am I going to ask these people? And you know what I started doing? I started asking them what they were dealing with their health. And what was really mind blowing to me at the time, this was like 11 years ago, is the people standing in my kitchen. I didn't know who they were. They were my mom's friends or her coworkers or whatever. They looked healthy, relatively speaking. You could not visibly see that most of them had health issues. They looked healthy from the outside. But then when I asked the question, are you dealing with any health challenges or issues? All of them had something. So I was like, wow, okay, so my perception that sick people look sick is actually not true. Most people don't look sick and they're really sick on some level, right? So I was like, wow. So I give the water away. They start coming back, some of them 2 weeks, some of them a month, some of them a few months. It all varied. Everybody's unique and different in their bodies and their situation. And they're having transformations. They're going to the doctor. They're getting checkups. Things are disappearing. Things are gone. Their doctors don't know what's going on. All they did was change their water. And it was like, oh my gosh, what the heck did we discover here? It was only for my health at first. My mom was only trying to help me. And then it turned into something much bigger. And now, 11 years later, we've been able to share this product with 48,000 customers in over 80 countries. And it's just mind blowing. So it all happened because of service. It all happened because of love. It all happened because we care about you. We care about other people. And there's also a cool business attached to it. That's kind of a bonus. It's a byproduct. So you can help people, change people's lives, make an impact, and also be paid in a way that I don't know of any other better way to get paid, I should say. So without further ado, I know that was a little 10, 15-minute intro, but I want you to know how important it is for you to have some context that most importantly, I'm just a normal, regular guy. There's nothing special or unique about me. I've just been dedicated to this business now for 6.5 years. I read and learn and try to improve who I am as a person every single day, which is such a big part of any type of success in life. And that's it. And I'm just constant, never ending growth and improvement. And you can do the exact same thing. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to jump into a quick little PowerPoint. I'm going to try my best to not take too long, maybe like 30 minutes. And then we're going to get into the potential on the business side. So let me know if you guys can see this. Can you see that? Is it full screen or do you see the thing on the side? Should I go full screen? Is that better? Sorry. Okay, one sec. This is not inside of Keynote. It's in preview. I don't think I can go full screen. I think I'm going to have to go like this. Because I guess I just downloaded this as a... Anyways, I'm just going to go like this, okay? Is that cool, guys? Just so whatever. You can't really read the side anyways. Give me a thumbs up. I can't hear you guys. Are you guys still there?
You're solid, man. Go for it.
Okay, sweet. So the company is called Enagic, okay? And Enagic is a 45-year-old company out of Japan. They're an amazing, amazing, amazing company, okay? They created this company to make a difference in people's lives and return their bodies to their origin. So Kangen in Japanese means return to origin. And the thing that's so cool about this water is that it's the easiest thing to change, if you think about it. You know, there's all these different things around health and diets and exercise programs, and all of those things matter. But the most important piece of this whole puzzle is that we're made 72% of our bodies are made of water. So everything that we focus on in the general public, for the most part, when you hear about health, is always focusing on the remainder of this, never the water part. So all of this time, energy, money, focus, attention, etc., is trying to solve the health problem people have, or just want to feel better, have more energy, sleep better, so on and so forth, with the smaller percentage, about a quarter of the total equation. Kind of silly, right? So the quality of your water and the quantity that you drink is the most important of anything that you're doing. And then your health, regarding your diet, workout, sleep, all of that is also important. but it all equals about a quarter of the puzzle, right? So if you look here, lungs are 90% water, blood is 82% water, skin is 80% water, 75%, like we're made mostly of water. That's basically the point, okay? So the scientists were studying regions of people all over the world. And what they noticed was certain parts of the world live to be abnormally long. And it's a thing called the blue zones. You can grab this book and research it and read it. This was basically what the point was, is that people were living longer than usual with less health problems and more energy and so on and so forth in these remote regions around the world. So scientists went there and they studied everything they could study, from what they ate, what they drank, altitude, the amount of sunlight, temperature, everything you could think of what is different around these people. And the local people in these areas were always talking about this miracle water, this fountain of youth. There was these myths and these legends and these stories around people would go and get the water from these places coming out of the ground, Mother Earth, and it was different. It wasn't normal water. So they took samples and they studied it. And what they discovered was that this water had unique properties. And this technology that we're talking about right now, it was a way for them to recreate exactly what Mother Nature already offers and provides, except it's not all water and it's not everywhere. So unless you want to go move to Tlacote, Mexico, or Lourdes, France, or Nordernau, Germany, and just pack your stuff and get out of here and go live there, this is going to be a much better solution and option for you. All right. So Eastern medicine is all focused around prevention and seeks the underlying causes of diseases. And the Western world, where I'm assuming most of you are watching this from, is all like, yeah, it doesn't matter until something goes wrong. And once it goes wrong, you want to go to the doctor, go to the hospital, and have a quick solution, right? Instant gratification with, here's some money, fix me, you know? And the problem is that it's ignoring the cause of disease. It's completely being ignorant, and it's ignoring it. It's not gonna work out well for people that have that approach. So we're here to educate you and inform you on trying this better approach, which is to start focusing on prevention and being proactive with your health right now. Even though you may not be sick, even though you may not have some kind of serious disease, but the chances are that it's probably going to happen in the future unless you make some serious changes. And one of the simplest changes you can make is to change your water. So check this out. Worldwide life expectancy, Japan is number one. What? Japan is number one. How cool is that? And USA is 38. Now there's a big connection here between why Japan is number one is because guess what? They're drinking this healthier water alternative. So let's jump into this company now, Enagic. This is a little bit of an old slide, 5 years old to be exact, but it's a 45-year-old company, okay? So when you look at any business, their track record and how long they've been around matters. Most companies don't survive 10 years, okay? So the fact that this company has survived that average life expectancy of a business times over four times, is a really good sign and indication that it's a solid business. They're an original equipment manufacturer, which means they create all their own parts in-house. They don't outsource, they don't take shortcuts, they're not cheap asses. They really put in the best products, the best quality, because they control all of that. They're the gold standard and the industry leader. They actually control 75% of the water ionizer market. So the other 25% is the companies and the websites that are bashing and talking shit about Enagic, trying to gain more market share. Enagic just stays in its own lane, knows it's number one, knows it's the best, doesn't have to talk about anybody else, and still dominates 75% of the market. Excuse me. They do over $500 million in annual revenues. That was in 2011. It's increased. They have global offices. So when you invest in this technology, you also get global distribution rights, which we're going to touch on when we get into the business a little later. But that alone is unlike anything else when it comes to actually being a business owner with something like this. So very, very cool. Enagic is the gold standard. So one of the things that you want to obviously consider is the merit of the product, right? If it's going to be used in Japanese hospitals, clearly the quality is very high. They're never going to put some kind of product into a hospital where it's literally life and death with humans, etc. That isn't the very best that you can get. 32,000 restaurants, 1 in 300 homes in Japan has a Kangen water ionizer, and it's 1 in 18,000 in the US. So you can see that, interestingly enough, 1 in 300 equals Japan as the #1 life expectancy. 1 in 18,000 is 38th on the list US. Not saying it's the only factor, of course. There's many other factors. But like I mentioned in the beginning, that's 25% of the equation. Everything else relating health falls into this quarter of health. And the water is 3/4. So it does definitely make a big difference. Here's just a few names of hospitals that have the Kangen water machines in there. This all got discovered in the 1970s. So that's why it's been 45 years, right? And here's the 3 key components, the properties that make this different. It's an antioxidizing water. And the reason why this is so healthy for you and so good for you is because the machine creates H2, molecular hydrogen. If you do your research scientifically, specifically on H2 molecular hydrogen, it's the most powerful antioxidant known to man. It's a free radical scavenger. So when you drink it in your body, there's millions of this H2 in the water, and it goes and scavenges your body for free radicals, which is the reason why you oxidize and you get sick and all this. So it binds together, flushes it out of your system. So think about that. You're mostly made of water, and the H2 goes in and literally goes in all of your cells in your body and eliminates anything that shouldn't be there that is harmful to you. That alone, if you actually just logically think about it, is like the most obvious, profound thing that every single person should have if you want to have a happy, healthy, long life, right? Of course. It's alkalized, which is a little bit different than alkaline. You've probably at this point heard of alkaline. And alkaline can be achieved by adding chemicals and minerals into something, right? So you can add baking soda into something, make it alkaline. People say you can add lemon. That's like a debate. Some people say it's acidic. Some people say, I don't even know. But anyway, they say you can add lemon. There's all this other stuff. This alkalized water is happening electrically. So it's going through the machine in a way where it's producing an electrical charge that's producing alkalization as a byproduct. And it also has smaller molecules, which means that you don't get the bloating feeling, and it absorbs into your body and your cells rapidly. So you can actually drink more water every day without it feeling kind of like stuck in your body and that bloating feeling. And then you don't like to drink water and all this kind of stuff. And that's probably what you can relate to, because most people don't like the taste of water and they don't like the bloating feeling of drinking water. So they drink other things. So antioxidation versus oxidation, you've probably seen this happen with your very eyes at home, where you cut an apple in half, you leave it on the counter, you come back in 30 minutes or 60 minutes, and it's gone brown, right? So this is the breakdown and damage of living cells. And an antioxidant protects the body by stopping the oxidation process. So it's very powerful, because look, the free radical stress that causes all of these issues inside of your body. Now, if you look at this real quick, how many of these things do you know or you personally have that you're dealing with in terms of your health, right? This is very mainstream popular stuff. Like everybody's got some of this stuff going on for the most part. So that's caused by free radical oxidative stress. So, here's some extreme examples of humans, oxidizing as they get older, and rust on metals and cars. So the point is that we want to do something that is going to slow this down, if not be able to anti-age us or reverse it completely. And what better way to do it than with the liquid that your body is made of, which is water. So Kangen water has a high antioxidant value of -300 to -800. Now, the reason why there's a large gap here is dependent on where you live and the source water that you have access to. So tap water is not equal all over the world, of course. So depending on if you have soft water, hard water, what kind of chemicals or minerals are coming in your water, it varies the number that is produced. Okay, so that's why there's a big gap here. But check this out. Once again, I just want you to think about this logically. Okay, so if 0 is neutral and we're trying to have a negative number, the higher the negative number, the more powerful of an antioxidant it is. And we're mostly made of water. So technically, we should be consuming more water in a day than any other liquid. So if we look at our options, what do you drink? What type of water do you drink, right? Really, you have tap water as one option, or you have some form of filtered water, whether it's a Dasani, purified, bottled, what the hell is that thing called? Brita, right? Thing's a joke, but one of those things. Anyways, you pretty much have those options for the most part. You don't think twice about it. You're probably sitting there maybe choosing brands, and you're buying based off of marketing, right? You're like, ooh, Jennifer Aniston, she's hot. She drinks this one, I'm gonna buy this one, right? Biggest bunch of BS ever, right? Even though she's pretty, doesn't matter. It shouldn't be the main reason why you're picking a certain type of water that your health relies on. So these are your options. Then, of course, people resort to sodas and sports drinks, and all of these are massively oxidizing of your cells and speeding up the aging process, okay? Because it's a positively charged oxidation reduction potential. So the potential is basically nothing over here. Then we have our antioxidants. Of course, you've heard of this before. Drink green tea, eat blueberries, drink acai berry juice, and whatever fad they're pumping in marketing all the time. So you got green tea, it's -80. You got vitamin C is -50. You got the delicious cod liver oil, so good, right? Yeah, right. Probably puke if you have a teaspoon of that stuff. And then you have Kangen water, which is the simplest, most streamlined solution to get a negative charge in your life, because you're supposed to be drinking mostly water every single day anyways. And then when you make your coffee, when you make your tea, when you cook and make soup and all these different other things that take water in your life, you can also make that with Kangen water as well. So you get even more of it into your body and into your life. Now, this is a device that you can buy on Amazon or all over the place at like a pool, where you can test your pool. You can buy stuff for the pool. They sell them there as well. But it's basically an oxidative ORP meter. And all you do is you stick this little thing in there into any liquid, and it's going to give you a reading. So you can test this out for yourself. And check this out, this Essentia water, which is pretty popular as of late, because it's claiming to be a 9.5 alkaline water that they sell in bottles. And of course, people are hearing about this more and more. You need to be drinking alkaline water. Alkaline water is the best for you. So the general public is getting the awareness. So these companies try to take advantage of you and put this stuff in front of you. Look at this, positive 345 from Essentia and minus 730 from Kangen water, right? Wild. That's literally, I don't know like how this exactly translates, but it's the exact opposite times 2. So that's like 20 times. I'm just totally making this up because I don't know how to do the Richter scale thing, but it's pretty crazy how much more powerful the Kangen water is, right? So check this out. It would take 5 pounds of blueberries, okay? 5 pounds of blueberries to get the same antioxidant benefits from just drinking 2 glasses of water. That would take you 30 seconds. So, I mean, blueberries are pretty good, but are you going to drink like or eat 40 pounds of blueberries a day? It's just not even realistic, right? So then we get into the second property, which is acid versus alkaline. And this is really, really simple stuff. You have neutral, and then you have acidic, and you can actually do this with pH drops. Once again, as long as the liquid is clear, you can test it. If it's already got some kind of funky color, it won't help you, but you can use an ORP meter, and sometimes they even have a pH and ORP combo that you can buy in one device on Amazon. They're like $100, $200. If you're really curious about it, you can grab one and do the test yourself. But anyway, so 9.5 is what we recommend drinking from the Kangen water machine after you go through an initial couple of weeks of getting your body adjusted. 9.5 is what you're going to be drinking on a day-to-day basis. This is strong enough of alkaline to offset some of the acidic things you're putting into your body, most likely in your diet, your stress, some other things that are going to be affecting your body overall is acidic. So the more 9.5 you drink, it'll balance it out. All right. And there's so much information, guys, that this is going to be like a 5-hour presentation if I really spend a lot of time. I'm very passionate about this. I love this stuff so much. And I really hope that this is landing for you. I can't see the comments. I can't see the chat. I'm kind of doing this all in the dark, blind, but I'm hoping that the energy is high. I'm hoping you're getting value. Maybe you guys could let me know if it's good. I'll keep going.
But they're loving it, bro. They're loving it. Yeah. Okay. I'll let you know, because I can see the comments and they're loving it, man.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Good to know. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. I'm like, I don't know. This is sweet. So in 1931, this guy here, Dr. Otto Warburg, he won a Nobel Prize in physiology where cancer grows in an oxygen-deprived acidic tissue. Okay. So disease cannot live in an alkaline body. So once again, very simple. I'm not a scientific doctor, wizard guy, but I am a logical person. And I can put a couple things together that make sense. So to me, this is how I look at it. If your body is mostly made of water, 74% of the equation, and you can put the very best water into your body, right? That's going to give you an alkaline environment, kind of like if your body was an aquarium and you put the right water into your body, so all of your organs are floating around in the right type of environment, then you're going to have an alkaline body, which disease cannot live in, right? And once again, it's not a promise or a guarantee, but logically that does make sense. So the way that I see it is, instead of trying to prove this theory wrong and say, that's nonsense, I'm not going to trust that or listen to that, I'm going to have the opposite approach, which is, okay, if I just change my water, it's going to increase my odds of being healthier, right? That's how I've looked at it. And I've barely gotten sick. I think I've gotten sick twice, like the flu, like a cold or a flu, in 11 years, twice. So I don't know about you, but before I had this water, I would get sick once every few months. Every time someone in my family or at work or at school was sick, I would immediately catch the bug. It was going to happen. Now my immune system is very strong. So electrolytes reduced Kangen water is 1,000 to 10,000 times more alkaline than purified and bottled water. What? How amazing is that? Seriously. And like I said, all of these tests can be done by yourself. You can do them. We encourage you to, if you want to, if that's your thing. By all means, get nuts, go for it. You're going to get the same results as us, okay? So how important is alkalinity? Once again, we're going to keep touching on this so you understand this is very, very serious and you should take this seriously. So there's a book that you can buy, has nothing to do with the Kangen water machine or this company. It's completely independent, written by Dr. Theodore Baruti, and there's a book called Alkalize or Die. All disease comes from the same root cause, too much acidity. And here's another very eye-opening side-by-side comparison between some of the leading brands, what it shows on the label, their packaging, and what their pH is, and how oxidizing it actually is for your body. And if you look real close, just on the very right side here, you'll notice that there's a lot of red going on. All of those are extremely bad for you, which is literally pretty much all of them. Enagic checks off here, green, and here. And then there's this real alkalized water, which is all right, but it's minus 25 compared to minus 745. So basically, it doesn't even come close. But at least it's green, so good on them. So the increased level of absorption, the coolest way to be able to experience this is actually drinking the water and feeling it happening inside of your system. But this is just a really good illustration to give you a little bit of idea of what is actually happening, okay? So only 15 to 17% of tap purified, filtered, and bottled water can actually get into the cell. That is about 22 ounces per gallon. What? Think about that. No wonder you feel like there's a tsunami in your stomach when you slam a big glass of water. And you know what else is interesting that I found? Sometimes I travel, like right now, and it's not good, and I don't have my water with me. And I was hoping someone that I'm going to be spending time with over the next few days had the machine with them. But I'm going to have no machine unless someone else brought one for the next few days, which isn't fun. And I'll buy some other type of water because obviously I'm used to drinking a lot of Kangen water. So I'll buy another type of water and I'll slam as much as I possibly can from a bottle, which normally I have no problem polishing it off when I'm drinking Kangen water. I'll drink half of it, like 500 mils in one go, and I'll actually feel bloated and thirstier as if I drank a glass of sand. Doesn't even make any sense. So that is largely to do with this diagram right here. Is like the water, it feels like it repels off of my tongue. Like it doesn't want to absorb compared to the Kangen water. It is just unbelievable. So here's another illustration. It's like if you took a tennis ball and you tried to throw it through a chain link fence, you would maybe get, 1 out of 100 would go through the fence. Unless you're like Richard Forbes, you probably get them all through because he's a pitcher and he's badass at baseball. But everyone else would struggle. Then you take a handful of marbles and throw it against a chain link fence, and literally every single one of them would go through, unless you have terrible aim and you like miss the fence. So the point is that clearly we want to be throwing marbles of water into our cells, not tennis balls, if that makes any sense at all. So what the professionals are saying about Kangen water, we could go on and on and on with the people who endorse this product and this company and do not get paid for it in any way, shape, or form. They're simply experts that have resources to get the very best in everything to do with their health for their clients and for their business and for their practice and so on and so forth. And they all are like Kangen water, and Enagic is the only thing that I use personally and recommend to my clients. Dr. Corinne Allen, deals with all of these different things. And she has said, look at this. What if a key to help unlock autism is just a sip away? Kangen water has been providing autistic children with a strong source of antioxidants and improved hydration. In our brain programs, we observed that our therapeutic expectations have been significantly exceeded by adding Kangen water to the treatment plan. What? Mic drop. No, nothing else to say there. Healing inside and out. Obviously, this is a little gross. This picture of two inside of, buttholes, I guess you could say. Kind of gross, I know. This one's clean. This one's clearly not clean. So, alkaline rich water considered the very best drinking water because of its incomparable powers of hydration, detoxification, and antioxidation. So he wrote a book called Enzyme Factor, and he does colonoscopies. I can't remember if he invented the colonoscopy, but he's the chief of endoscopy. It's a weird word, endoscopy. I don't know how to say that shit. But anyway, he's the chief of that. And he's done 40,000 different colonoscopies. And he puts all of his patients on the water and has them come back for like a 90-day checkup to see how they're doing and, get a before and after, kind of like this photo you see here. And this is the type of photos he's getting, right? And obviously you can put that on your Instagram and be super proud and get a ton of likes and shares and engagement, right? So we got Dr. Hiromi Shinya. He is the same dude, and he has just nothing but good things to say about it. This is pretty nasty, right? But look, 60-year-old male with diverticulitis on the left, 3.5 months after drinking Kangen water. Yeah, pretty gross on the left, still gross on the right, but much better. So medical studies on Kangen water. This is really, really big, okay? So for those of you guys that are very into science and analytical and research and studying, that's awesome. We actually like that, because no matter how long you're going to spend researching and trying to prove this stuff wrong, the very end, however long that takes you, you will be proven right that this research is legit. And, Richard Forbes is on this call. He's one of the leaders. And I don't know if you shared your story, brother, with everybody on this call yet, but he's a perfect example of somebody who had taken a long time. I think it was 4 months, maybe longer, of researching, turning over every stone, trying to find out that this wasn't real. And there had to be some sort of trick up our sleeves or whatever. And after all that time, he realized that there was so much information positively backing this up because he was researching the correct thing. And this is so, so important. So Kangen water is a brand. That's like you trying to find scientific studies on Nike. It's not a thing, okay? So do not do scientific studies on the brand. You do scientific studies on what it actually is, which is electrolyzed reduced water, ERW. You can go to PubMed, you can go to all different research websites and stuff. And there's more and more studies coming out on its effectiveness for incredible health results in people, okay? So aging, lifespan, oxidative stress. Now this is gonna get a little mumbo jumbo stuff. As soon as I see this, my brain shuts down like I'm going to have, pass out because it's big words. So we're not going to get too much into this, okay? But we'll stick to the big words here. So oxidative damage of DNA, RNA, and protein. And then we get into this stuff again. It's really, really good, right? Suppression of cancer, it gets a little crazy. You can go to PubMed and search all this stuff. Like I said, it's not my forte. I'm going to just kind of skip through this stuff, but it's all there. So for those of you that are into this and you need this to feel comfortable, awesome. No worries. We'll point you in the right direction. We'll send you like 16 years of reading material and you can get nuts and it's all good. When you're finished, you're still going to realize that this is truthfully amazing, okay? There's Kangen water and skin conditions. Some of you watching this right now may be suffering from some kind of skin problems. Eczema, dermatitis, skin rashes, psoriasis, athlete's foot, acne, and so on. It's profound what can happen when you use this machine to its full potential. And there's 5 different types of water that the machine actually produces, 5 different pHs of water, I should say. And each of them have a different application, function, and benefit to you. So depending on what's going on, we do have some recommendations, some things that you can test and try for yourself. And like I said, no promises or guarantees of anything, but it's just water. So you might as well give it a shot. If you've spent a lot of money on skin creams and dermatologists and, came up sort of empty-handed and still self-conscious and insecure about some of those things that are very difficult to deal with and live with, at least try out the water because the results that I've seen are just, wow. We might even, oh yeah, look at this. We got some photos. So psoriasis was treated with 2.5 pH acidic water, which is one of the waters on the machine. Woman was suffering for over 10 years. Look at this. Look at the redness. And boom, I think that is 90 days later and her skin looks like she never had any redness. It's just amazing. This is for eczema. This person had pretty severe case. And after 2 weeks, the vesicles dried up. The eczema was completely cleared out without any relapse. Amazing. Look at this. Right leg before and after. Right shoulder back before and after. Very cool. If that gets you excited, comment and share your excitement because not only can you personally have these results, but imagine being able to share this with other people. Imagine being the person who is responsible for providing the solution to something that has been like a very, very difficult thing to deal with for many, many years for a lot of people out there, right? That's more valuable than money. You'll still get paid, but I mean, to have that sort of special place in someone's life as the person who cared enough to share this, I think is one of the reasons why I do this as opposed to the other millions of things I could do for a career. Nothing gives me as much joy and satisfaction and fulfillment as being able to get this into someone's life. It is that special. So you can also use this for cooking and cleaning. The 2.5 water specifically has been scientifically tested to kill 99.9% of bacteria on contact within 30 seconds. So what's wild about this is cleaning products typically are very, very bad for you, right? If your parent, or not if your parents could technically, but if your kids or your pets got into the closet or whatever, the cabinet where you keep your cleaning products and, cracked them open and started chugging them and you walked in and saw it, you would freak out. You would call 911, you'd get them to the hospital and you'd pump their stomach and you'd try to save them, right? Because who knows what could happen. Very, very bad. This is just water. So even though it kills 99.9% of germs and bacteria on contact within 30 seconds, it actually doesn't have any side effects if you were to drink it. It just kind of tastes a little weird, but it has no side effects. So your pets, your kids, your parents, everybody's safe when you switch to cleaning your home and throwing out all that garbage that you don't need anymore and just using this water. It's literally like super phenomenal. So look at all these different tests that were done, right? The organism over here on the left, once again, we're getting into the big word territory. So I'm going to go ahead and politely decline on saying those things. But, have a quick look here, take a picture, do whatever you got to do. And we can always hook you up with this as well later. But wow, right? It's that I can go on and on and on and on. So I'm going to try to kind of continue here. Another thing that is very cool is when you buy your fruits and veggies, most people have the habit of taking their groceries home and then washing their produce, washing their fruits before they eat it. Do you do that? Yes or yes, right? We all do that. We want to clean it, rinse it, whatever. But the thing is that they actually spray herbicides and pesticides and insecticides and all this other sides of shit onto our fruits and veggies that is oil-based. So that means that water and oil don't mix. If you remember anything from high school, I don't, but I do remember this one thing, is that water and oil do not mix. So it floats to the top. So what actually ends up happening when you wash your fruits and vegetables with your tap water is the chemicals in your tap water are being absorbed into your fruits and vegetables. And then the clean water is actually getting filtered through your fruits and vegetables. The fruits and vegetables act as a filter, and the clean water goes down the drain. The oil remains on the fruits and vegetables because water and oil do not mix, and therefore you're not achieving anything except for making it even worse. And then you eat that shit. And so did I, and so did everybody on this call. And it's not you, it's all of us. We all did it, right? We didn't know any better. Now, for the last 11 years, I don't do that anymore. We wash our fruits and vegetables in 11.5 pH. It is strong enough to emulsify oil. It does not add anything worse into the water because it's already been purified and cleansed from the Kangen water machine. Then it removes the harmful herbicides, pesticides, etc., which, by the way, they still spray on organic produce. So you're spending extra money to buy organic, and they still spray it because if you look closely, this is one thing that really pissed me off. So I'm going to share this with you because it drove me real mad when I first found out. If you look at the little sticker on your fruits and veggies, the organic stuff, it says organically grown in California, Mexico, whatever, right? Organically grown. But it does not say organically grown and transported. So they do grow it organically, awesome. They still spray it when they transport it. And it's still your responsibility to clean it and wash it off so you're not ingesting it and eating it. And it's the type of thing where you don't get sick immediately. You've probably been doing this for over a decade anyways. So you don't have a direct connection to, oh, I had this insecticide on my veggies and now I got sick. But the compound effect of you consuming that constantly over many, many, many years, believe me, it does contribute towards health challenges, and that's not okay. So the K8, the number one, best of the best. It is the machine that you need. It is incredible. It's the one that I own proudly, and if anything ever happened to it, it'd be the very first thing that I purchase. Literally, any materialistic thing, if it broke, if it blew up, if my house burned down, please, please, please don't ever happen. I'm buying a K8 before I'm buying anything else. That's how important this thing is to me, okay? And that's how important it's gonna be to you because look at all the benefits. This is just a snapshot. There's over 100 applications that aren't even listed here because like I said, we'll be here all night. The list is too long. But in a nutshell, the strong Kangen water emulsifies oil, cleans food, and more. Kangen water is great for drinking and cooking. Clean water is neutral. It is just clean and purified. It's not electrolyzed. So in the cases of babies, they're perfectly alkaline when they're born and they're healthy. They don't need extra help with alkalinity. Same thing with medication. Medications are designed to break down, slow release over time. So we just want the medication to do what it's supposed to do and drink it with neutral water. And then we got beauty water. It's amazing for skin, for hair, for plants, for cleaning. We have strong acidic water, disinfects, kills viruses and bacteria. And all of this is in your kitchen in unlimited quantities, unlimited supply, and it lasts over 20 years when you invest in the machine. And it costs less money than you're already spending on bottled water. And you don't need so many different products, mostly which are very harmful to you anyways. So you're not going to miss them. Man, seriously, this thing's like unbelievable. It's kind of like my S63 AMG. It's kind of like that because this is better. But my car literally has the instruction booklet of all the cool things it does. It's like one of those things from Transformers. Like this thing like can like drive itself and shit. It's crazy. But this is what it reminds me of. Literally, look at all these benefits. It is mind-blowing and so cool of what you're getting all wrapped into this one product. So why Magic is the gold standard? Well, have a look. All the certifications you could ever want from every different place that has anything to do with water, is endorsing this, approving this, giving it gold star certifications. And on the business side, it even has a patent on the compensation plan as well, which we're going to get into in a moment. They're in part of the direct selling organization, top 100 companies, gold seals left and right. The one thing I will mention about the gold seal is that the public businesses that are out there, restaurants, gyms, spas, so on and so on, they have to abide by a strict set of like bylaws, and they cannot offer the public that come through their establishment just some product from some random device, right? Because it could get them sick and it could get them sued and all this kind of stuff. So the gold seal is mandatory and necessary for businesses to be able to put this in without risking getting a fine. So it's the only, you won't see these other knockoff competitors ever, for the most part, unless they're really risking it, put their machines into a business, a storefront that serves the public. But you will see Kangen water machines in countless businesses all over the world serving this water because it has the gold seal and they have nothing to worry about. So it's a fun little fact for you. So medical grade water equipment, there's all different types of machines for different purposes. So there's a machine for you. Basically, there's big ones, small ones, travel sizes, industrial strength ones. There's the K8, which is by far the best one. But if you're not able to, for some reason, get this into your life, you can get one of these other ones in your life and eventually trade it in and upgrade to the best, which is the K8. We have a really cool machine. It's called the Inespa shower. This is the same sort of general idea as the K8, except it hooks up to your shower and you have this home hot spa. Just words can't really describe how it feels to shower or take a bath in an Inespa until you try it. It is 100% worth having them. And I just changed my filter. Woo-hoo! The fresh filter. Oh man, that's good stuff, man. If you guys, I know anybody watching right now, you're probably laughing because when you change your Inespa filter, oh man, you just go to a whole nother level of bliss. It's just unbelievable. So who's already using Kangen water? A few examples. Well, fitness centers, boom, there you see it in the background. They make all kinds of, healthy snacks and smoothies. You got it in fitness centers, people educating the public. We got UFC fighters. You can see the Enagic branded bottle. This is live on HBO, right? Boom. And the thing is, we got to kind of take these sneaky photos on TV and stuff because these fighters do not get endorsed or paid by the company. So we don't really officially have some kind of statement that so-and-so is now, endorsing the product. We got to catch it in real time here on the PVR, the DVR, be like, oh, there it is. So it's pretty fun. But this lady here, she looks like she roundhouse kick you in the face with a pretty smile. So that will leave you real confused after the next day. You're like, what happened? But that's her. She looks gangster for sure. We got these UFC fighters. They're pointing at it like, we're going to whoop your ass because we drink this water. So that's awesome. This guy, holy smokes, he's like 5 of me. He's jacked, out of control, and he drinks the water. We got bodybuilders. This guy's flexing with his bottle, and he's flexing on stage. Look at him go. We got professional trainers. This guy, he's pretty famous, Dolvet Quince. You probably recognize him from that show that had millions of viewers. He believes in the water and was giving it actually to the contestants on the show and was helping them get the results they were getting. Why? Because their bodies are 70% water. So of course it was an important part of the equation. This guy's got a USA, I don't know his name, but he's got looks like a gold medal or something. So clearly he's a badass, probably Olympics or something. He's got a machine. NFL teams and players. Man, Tom Brady, he's like my idol. I love Tom Brady. If you hate Tom Brady, we're not friends. So just leave the webinar. I'm just playing. But Tom Brady's the man. He's got a machine. He also, if you go to his Facebook page and you watch, he has some kind of documentary about his life, how he trains and how he eats and his diet. And he makes like smoothies in this video on his Facebook page with the Kangen water machine sitting right there on his counter. Once again, he doesn't get paid to promote it or endorse it. We got to catch him, be a little sneaky when we're watching his Facebook videos and we see, hey, there you go. Tom's another example, greatest quarterback of all time. He's got the machine. We got these MLB teams and players all rocking it. It literally goes on. And most importantly, right? Celebrities, billionaires, you name it. All of that aside, what's the most important? The families that have this. The everyday, ordinary, regular folks who can get this machine in their lives, that's what matters to us, because that's who we're dealing with most of the time. And your families first, you know, our families are already taken care of. We've had this machine and this product in our lives for a long time now. It's your turn next to get this, and your turn to be able to share it. So we have literally, like I said, 48,000 just in my team alone in the last 6.5 years, which is mind blowing to even say that out loud. But that's how many people we've been able to impact together, collectively. By no means was that me by myself. It was all of us doing our part to share this with other people. It's really, really cool. So literally, we ask everybody who gets the products to take a quick photo. They're very pumped, very excited, and looking forward to their own transformation with their product. So when you get yours, make sure you take a photo, you post it in the group, share it with us, because we like to see your journey unfolding as well. So in the news, I mean, man, we can go on for days and days. How many more slides do I got? I mean, seriously, we can keep going. We can do a marathon. It could get really cool up in here. But I got news for days. It's been in GQ. We've taken these little snippets. Man, I don't even know. Like, it's just so cool. Who's jumping out here? You got something to say?
No, I was just saying there was about 70-something slides, so you should be getting to the end there.
All right, sweet. So the point is, guys, is this product, this company, and this water has been around for 45 years. And a lot of people have just been oblivious that it's kind of been sneaking right under their nose. It's been right in front of your face. It's been in all these major publications. It's, you know, maybe you've seen it before, you've seen the blue bottle, but your awareness didn't pick up on it. You're like, who cares? It's a blue water bottle. Why would I care? Or you saw it in a magazine and you skimmed over it, and Kangen water machine, who cares? And you didn't even, you know, contemplate to like look into it. Totally normal. That happens to all of us all the time with different things. So we're just showing you that this is not something that just came out of nowhere. It's just coming out of nowhere, possibly for you for the first time, but the information is spreading and this technology is exploding all over the world. Obviously, social media is helping us a lot spread the message quicker than ever, but it's time for this to really continue to blow up in a bigger way. Hospitals and doctors, like I mentioned, this is really, really cool. So every year, 6,500 doctors get to vote on the top medical product that they believe in. And over 6,500 doctors approved Enagic and this Kangen water as being the best thing. The only company in this industry to receive this honor due to Enagic's high-grade medical production. That in and of itself is some really cool stuff. So I think I've probably given you enough information, but here's the thing that's really interesting is we've probably covered about 10%, maybe 5% of what really you're able to get access to when you get this product into your life. And that's only on the health side. We haven't even touched on the potential for the business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my slide deck. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to check in with you guys, Travis. I haven't seen the comments, so I don't know if there's questions around the product. Is there anything that I should dive into? But I'm happy.
We're good right now. Okay. Who wants to see the business and the opportunity attached? Because I know that's why a lot of people showed up here. They want to make money. If you want to make money, let us know in the comments. He's going to dive into the business. I can tell you from experience that going from someone who used to make, 20 grand a year to someone who's now earning 6 figures plus per year, that this business is no joke. It's incredibly exciting. And one of the big reasons why we're all here today. So if you guys are excited about the business opportunity attached to this incredible technology that we all have the blessing to use, let us know in the comments, and Balazs going to dive right in. So brother, I sent you a message. If you want to go check your Facebook and see if you can open up the slides there.
Yep, I got it.
Cool. Are they working all right there?
Let me just 1 second. Yeah, I will try my best to keep this simple.
I know. Hey, can I say one thing real quick? to anyone who's going to be looking at this, it might seem confusing. Like I know it did for me at first, but just let it slide. Just open up your mind to the information that he's going to be sharing here, because every single one of us on this panel here, we've all got to experience the power of this compensation, and it works. So without further ado, I'll let Balazs take it.
We're getting a lot of yeses. Show me the money. Bring on the business. Yes, yes, yes. We're getting a lot of yeses. I think they want to see it.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's exciting. So once again, I want to share a couple little quick thoughts before I get into the business, because this is so important for all of you watching to understand. Okay. There's a million ways that you can make $1 million. That's the truth. You can make money all different sorts of ways. And money without fulfillment is never, ever, ever going to make you happy. So money by itself isn't what you're most likely seeking. Money is just a part of what you're seeking. So the reason why this is so important, the reason why we spend, an hour talking about the products and the value and the benefits, is because if the water didn't work, if the water wasn't what we say it is, which it is what we say it is, I would not be on the internet talking a bunch of smack, making shit up, looking like a fool if it wasn't the truth. It doesn't make sense, right? That's not the type of person I am. So I'm telling you this because it's legit. And I'm telling you this because without the product working, the numbers and the opportunity I'm about to show you wouldn't matter. This whole thing wouldn't work. It's a perfect combination. Okay. So all the lights are green and all the pieces of the puzzle are here. And that's so important for you to understand. So when you align yourself with this project, when you promote this, it is something that you'll always be proud of being a part of. You'll never feel the need to quit or stop, because it's something that will always matter. It's always going to be relevant. Water's never going to all of a sudden not be important to human life. It's forever. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, when you build this business, you also are building a legacy. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit more when we go through these slides. But every amount of work, blood, sweat, and tears, effort, and energy that you put into this thing can be passed on to your family and to your kids one day. So that's really unique and special, and that doesn't usually exist in other things out there, right? And then the last thing is that when you get messages from people, you guys probably remember the introduction Travis had and the things he said and, about the gratitude and stuff. It's so surreal to be in a position where you can make an impact into someone's life in this sort of way, right? And there's no amount of money or commission or price that you can put on that. And the cool thing is, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because you will still also have an opportunity to make a lot of money. So it's not even that. It's just like, it's very unique is what I'm saying. This is a very unique opportunity. And I hope you're going to see that when we get into these numbers, and take it seriously, because this has profound ability to completely transform your future in a matter of 3 to 5 years, if not sooner than that. Okay. So with that being said, I'm so excited to show you this business. I wish I could tell you my actual income and my actual results. I wish I could. I really do, because it's just hard to comprehend. But more importantly, I wish I could share with you all the people in the community who are winning, including everybody on this call. So that's what I'm the most proud of. And the more people that you help get what they want in their life, the more you're going to get what you want in your life. So if right now your life is hard and financially you're struggling maybe more than you want to be, there's a very good chance that your focus is all on yourself. Why me? Poor me? Life's hard, so on and so forth. But when you shift that focus and perspective on how I can serve and how I can add value and how I can change someone else's life, all of a sudden your problems start to get solved as well. So it's a very profound way of looking at your life. And in this business specifically, it's all about win-win-win. The only way you can achieve success is if you help people win with their health, with their wealth, and with their freedom. So I'm so excited to get into the numbers. If I won't be able to see anything in terms of the chat, Travis, so as things come up, just jump out, stop. I can repeat it and slow down. But as soon as I share my screen, I'll kind of be dark again. So I'll do that now. Let's jump right into it. Awesome. So The most important thing that I want to start off with is there's a rank in the company called 682-3. Now, I know that sounds like a weird math equation, right? How do you minus 682 minus 3? It's like algebra or something. But really, it's all going to make more sense later. But the most important thing with this is that in a lot of businesses, especially in this industry, there's almost a set of rules that set you up to lose in a way. With Enagic, what they've done is they've removed some of these reasons why you would lose, and they set it up for the average person to have a better chance to win. And when it comes to this comp plan, you only need to produce the sales once. So that means that if you have a long learning curve, if you're new to sales, you're new to marketing, all of this is a little bit difficult to understand at the moment, which is totally normal, right? Anytime you start anything new, it could feel a little bit like, what do I do? How does this make sense? A little confusing. No matter how long it takes you to go through that learning curve, you only have to produce a certain amount of results one time. So if it takes you a year or 3 or 5 or 10, you only got to do it once, and then you can reap the benefits for life. And that alone is worth committing to this long term. So let's dive in. The Enagic flagship machine is the K8 that we mentioned earlier. So for the sake of this example, for this whole compensation plan, we're going to assume that you personally purchase a K8 as a minimum, if not the trifecta, which we'll talk about in a bit, and you're selling the K8 to other people. Okay, so we're just going to assume that hypothetically that that's what's happening. Now, there is some financing available, which also is a unique component of this opportunity. Because it's a physical product, financing companies will finance you the ability to get one of these machines in your home. And it depends on your credit, it depends on your income to debt ratio, and there's a few factors. So it's not like an automatic thing, but we do have lots of different options for people. And you can get involved with the machine for zero down, not always, but a lot of the time, and around $120, $130 a month payments. Okay, so keep this in mind, is what if you're able to get financing, or a lot of you can just buy it outright cash or put it on your own credit card or borrow them money from somebody. It doesn't matter. Okay, but the total price is $5,000 plus tax, and the total commission paid out per machine is $2,720. It's about 54% of the cost of the machine. The commissions are divided into 8 points equally, and each point is worth $340. So what I'm proposing for you to look at this $5,000 investment is this: 2 things. Number 1, the machine lasts over 20 years. Okay, well maintained, simple to maintain. You replace the filter; they're $120 every 6 months. So that's your only maintenance upkeep besides the $5,000. The machine cranks out an unlimited amount of water, basically, on all those different types of benefits that it makes. And it's a tax write-off. And you get global distribution rights to be able to sell an unlimited amount of these machines for the rest of your life as well, with no other additional fees or surprises or anything like that. All of that for $5,000. I mean, show me any other business where you can get everything all in for that amount. There simply isn't anything even close. So there are 6 different ranks you can achieve. There is 1A, which means 1 point agent. So you get 1 out of those 8 points, okay? So you get 2 different ranks. Your first 2 direct sales must go in your 1A lane. This means you earn 1 out of the 8 points. When your 1A direct sales make their own sales, you earn 1 point from their sales as well. And not just from their sales, but also from their team sales. So if you look at this quick example here, imagine you sold 1 machine, you made $340, and then they start to sell other people the K8. We have amazing training. We have an online education platform. We have a lot of other additional tools that will help you make this happen. And you just start getting $340 checks from other people's efforts, from other people's sales. Think about it from your current income that you earn right now at your job. How much is your take-home income at the end of the month? $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Now, when you look at the compensation plan, just always think, how many sales would you have to personally make, or you make along with your team as well, a combined effort, to be able to surpass the type of income that you currently make and be able to walk away and have total freedom working online anywhere you want. It's pretty surreal. And it doesn't take that many sales to get there for most people. The lane your new sale goes into depends on the total number of team and direct sales in your organization. If you make a sale while your organization is between the numbers at the top, that sale goes into that lane. So real simple here, you have 6 different ranks and you get promoted every time your total sales equals more than 10, more than 20, more than 50, more than 100, and it's that simple. So combined between you and your team and the total sales that are happening, you're able to advance through these different ranks. And look at the commission differences. 340 to 680 to 1,020 to 1,360, 1,700, 2,040. Just a couple of sales a month at 6A is enough for most people to replace their full-time income, the average person. Pretty cool, right? So let's talk about this now in the 2A lane. You see what's happening here? If you make a direct sale while your organization has between 3 and 10 sales, that direct sale goes into your 2A lane. You will earn 2 points, $680 total for each K8 from every team sale that happens under that direct sale. Of course, there's only 8 points. So it doesn't go on forever and ever. It's 8 points total that gets distributed, but it does add up with a lot of different people. So you only achieve a new rank when you make a direct sale. For example, if your first 2 direct sales had 10 total sales in their team, both direct and team, your total organization will have 22 units. Hopefully that makes sense. Pretty simple math. That means that you are now past the 20 mark here, which is the criteria to move on to here. So your next direct sale would go in your 4A lane and you would make the 1,360. So realistically, you would be skipping 2A and you'd be skipping 3A, and you'd go from your 2 1As all the way to 4A because your team started producing a lot of sales. You will now earn 4 points from the new distributor sales as long as there are 4 points to earn. You can now see the power of leverage with the system as team sales are made. The same system begins for each new teammate. So this exact diagram that I'm showing you, as soon as you buy your K8, you are now having access to this exact same compensation plan. And it starts over for you at the very beginning at 1A. We all start at 1A, every single person. And then within this matrix of all of us helping and supporting each other, this is what's possible. And this is just scratching the surface. So let's continue. Once you have over 100 units in your organization within your 8 points, your next direct sale goes into your 6A lane. This is the first leadership title. Did my headphones just die? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Oh, my headphones are dying. Anyways, that's all good. Let me know if you can't hear me.
We're good to go.
So you will now earn $180 for every K8 sale beneath your 8 points until the next 6A. Then it is $40, 3 generations deep under that 6A. So the reason why Nagic starts to give you this additional bonus is because at this point, after 100 sales, your organization is growing so big that a lot of sales will be happening outside of your 8 points. So they're going to give you an additional benefit by growing a large team where they want to now compensate you on all of those sales happening below your 8 points. And this one single point of the compensation plan can add up to be a lot. I'm actually blown away at how much money I earn just from this bonus alone, even though the individual checks are so much smaller compared to these big numbers up top. Because of the volume and the number of people that are all making sales, it adds up to be quite a bit. So now let's talk about the potential and what you should really be excited about long term. All right. This is the 6A and above compensation plan. So that means that after 101 total units in your team, you now are going to be starting to build the next level of your business. So what happens is you've made a bunch of direct sales and 2 of them have gone on to bring on 100 sales into their teams. That makes you a 6A2. Pretty simple, right? You have 2 6As here, you become a 6A2. This part's easy to understand. As they also duplicate and grow, they're going to bring on 6As as well. This is just natural growth. You don't have to really worry about it. It's just going to happen because over time, people get excited. They keep learning, they keep marketing, they keep making sales, and it just starts to fall into place over time. You help your 6A teammates get to 2 6As in their business. Now you are a 6A2-2. So we all work together. We support each other and we're there for each other. And therefore, these people, they always have everything that they need. So when you get started, you're going to have all the support and mentorship and coaching that you need to feel, confident that you can make it here as well in just due time. Now, here is the exciting rank that I mentioned at the beginning. At 6A2-3, the way to easily understand this is you're 6A2 and there's 3 levels of 6A2s, which is why you have this funky rank called 6A2-3. The dash basically means 3 levels of 6A2s. So you will earn all of the commissions and residuals from your direct and team sales. You are also receive $5,000 a month minimum for life. So Nagic is now going to reward you as part of their top leadership with this additional bonus that is kind of like a retirement fund in a way that is added to your regular commissions. So what would you do with an extra 5 Gs a month, right? Now, here's something that a lot of people don't realize. If you're an investor, okay, most people usually aren't, but if you've ever heard the idea of being an investor, the idea is to invest your money so your money makes you more money, right, with interest. So in order to earn $5,000 per month passively from an investment, you would need $1 million invested in the right place, earning a 6% annual interest. Pretty conservative, but it's, 5%, 4% is more likely. But let's just say you earn 6%. Okay? You'd need to first come up with $1 million. So how long would it take you with your current job to raise $1 million, invest it in the right places without spending it on anything else, and then getting a 6% annual return, which would pay you $5,000 a month? Most people are not going to get there for many, 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 many years, right? So in this scenario, you skip having to save up the $1 million. You just go help a lot of families change their water so they can change their life and work as a team. And if you achieve this, which is about 1,000 to 1,500 product sales combined between you and your team, which seems like a crazy high, big number, but in the big grand scheme of things, once you start getting momentum, it would take maybe 3 years, 5 years in that range for most people to get there. It could be a little bit longer, but who cares? You're skipping the $1 million of savings and investing that most people have to do, right? Pretty cool. So this is the Millionaire Mastermind Movement Trifecta, where you can get the top 3 products that Enagic offers. Now, what happened in my business years ago is that people were first buying the K8 and they were loving the water. They were like blown away at their transformation and how great they felt and the results that they got, etc. Afterwards, naturally, just like if you're an Apple fan, right? I first had an iPhone, then I got a MacBook, then I got the AirPods, then I got the other thing. Why? Because I loved each product that I purchased. So naturally, I went back for more. I was like, what else you got? How other cool gadgets, right? They sucked me in. I got everything Apple and Mac everywhere I go in my house and my life, right? Now, same thing with Enagic. You're going to love the K8 so much that people were coming back and they bought the Anespa for their shower. They're like, man, if the K8's so amazing, I want the Anespa shower. So they come back and they buy that. And then they got the Ukon turmeric supplement, which we didn't get into tonight because there's not enough time, but it's an incredible antioxidant supplement that we offer as well. So the total price that you can see here for each one without tax is about, what does that work out to, 8,000 something? But here's what happens. Okay, I created this concept trifecta many years back. And it's so cool to see, Travis and the team and everybody benefiting from sharing this with other people. So as I showed you earlier, imagine you can fast track yourself to double the commissions on day one. That's what it looks like. By selling yourself to K8 and the Ukon, you take out the first 2 mandatory 1A positions. So you actually fill them with yourself by buying 2 extra products. Your first sale to anyone will go into your 2A lane. So now your very first actual customer, you're going to earn $680 off of a K8. If they buy the trifecta, you're going to earn $1,110 on the very first sale that you make. but you're also going to receive $380 back just from you buying the 2 products from yourself. So it gives you a little bit of a jump start for either possibly if you got a loan to pay for the loan, or for your marketing budget, or for whatever you want, pay your phone bill, whatever you want to do, right? But it gets $380 back, which is a really cool concept. So now check this out. You sell a trifecta, you make $1,120, like I mentioned. You help your new business partner sell a trifecta and earn another $1,120. This is only in your 2A lane. So you've already been able to earn 25% of your initial trifecta investment back just with 2 trifecta sales. So you can see that it takes about 6 to 8 product sales or customers for you to break even, right? And anytime you invest in a business, you need to understand the ROI. What is it going to take to get your money back and get into profit? So in this example, you just want to see how many sales it's going to take for you to recoup your initial investment. And then after that, you have infinite ROI. Every dollar you earn after that point is your money. It's profit. So it can add up to some pretty serious numbers. I can't make any income claims, so I'm not going to tell you guys the numbers, but they're really big and they're really amazing. And my initial investment for my trifecta is the exact same that you would invest in yours. The only difference between you and I is I've been doing this for 6.5 years, and you'd be getting started today, and you could possibly create similar results. It's not promised or guaranteed, but you could possibly do something similar over the next 5 to 10 years also. So you have option A, you have option B. You can just get one of the products, one of the machines like the K8, and $5,000 plus tax. You can pay for it cash, credit card, or look into some financing. Or the much more fast track approach, for 2 reasons. You get the best 3 products that Magic has, and you also get the ability to move through the commissions twice or triple as fast. So not only do you get double the commission on day 1, but here's the other really cool thing. If you sell 34 trifectas between yourself and your team, it equals 100 products. So that initial comp plan I showed you earlier, where you need 101 product sales to get to the max commissions, you're going to be able to get there 3 to 5 times quicker. And not only that, when the Ukon supplement renews every 4 months, because you get another order of it, it counts as 1 more sale. So within 12 months, 1 trifecta customer is the equivalent of 5 sales for you. So 1 customer can equal 5 sales. So in that example, how many people do you really need over the course of 12 months to hit 6A? And now you realize that you can do this. It's not that difficult. You do need to learn. You do need to be committed. You do need to put in the time. Yes. But overall, compared to other opportunities and other options, I don't know of anything that really hits all of these different things on the head as well as this does. If I did know of something better, I would be doing it. But this is the very best, combining value, legit, amazing medical technology and products, the stability of a 45-year-old company, compensation plan that is going to blow your mind once you start receiving these checks in the mail. And it's going to unlock your freedom and give you access to being on your way towards the goals and dreams that you have. And not only that, but you have an amazing community with awesome leadership who really truly cares about you, including myself, who's going to be there for you and support you every step of the way once you make this commitment and decision to get started. So I'm going to stop the screen share, pass it back over to you. I can do a little Q&A if you want, but thank you for listening. Hope you got a lot of value and you enjoyed the presentation.